I'm here in Lake Jackson, Manassas. It's at a home inspection for a buyer client of mine. I figured I'd get out and take a look at a bit in the area. From a former 800 acres of farmland to the current lake, this community has a rich history in its past. Housing a past State Department official to a rumored CIA safe house, to a place called home for longtime NBC weatherman Willard Scott, there are hundreds of homes sprinkled throughout the Lake Jackson area. There's even chatter of a presidential bunker having been located here, a fact I can neither confirm nor deny. Learn more about this community at ljcainc.com. On today's episode, I have a couple air quality points I want to cover that could impact your health and wellness. We'll also include a home maintenance step to help prevent bad air, mildew, and mold. Should you pay your mortgage down or save the money for a rainy day fund? We'll look at that question. And where are mortgage interest rates today? Where do we think they're going to be headed? I'll talk about that. Let's get started. I have an iRobot, which I purchased probably 15 or so years ago. This vacuum maps the floor and does what I would consider a great job. Certainly better than not regularly vacuuming your floors. Well, the battery wears out over time and needs replacement. After sitting around too long with a dead battery, I replaced it and sent it on its way around the house. Our first floor has engineered hardwood flooring with area rugs in the key rooms. I couldn't believe how much dust, dander, and crud that thing has been sucking up and removing from the floors despite our regular vacuuming. It's amazing how much dust a house and its occupants create. So this made me think about the impact that all the dust has on our lungs and wellness. If we're breathing in all of that while doing a mild job at removing the junk from our environment, no wonder we have allergies and such. We're breathing bad air. Now, I'm not a doctor, nor am I trying to dispense a medical opinion here. I'm just offering basic practical advice on making sure you're setting yourself up for success in the air you breathe. So put some extra effort into cleaning the floors, carpets, and area rugs, and change your air filters. A little effort goes a long way. Continuing on the air quality theme, in each of your bathrooms, possibly not in the older homes, you'll have an exhaust fan in the ceiling. Take a look at it. Does it have a bunch of dust covering the grate, or is it clean? More than likely there's dust because these are located in a place that's not easily reachable and thus gets overlooked. And if there's dust on the grate, it's more likely a spillover of what's coating the inside motor and fan just underneath. So unless you want to replace the exhaust fan in half the time they're designed to operate, go ahead and build into your regular cleaning a quick clean of the fan and cover.
The point of a fan in a bathroom and a fan in here venting is to get, moisture or smells out of the home.
If you're seeing a lot of condensation on your walls, that might indicate a larger problem. I was talking with a client who recently celebrated his first year in his home. For first-time home buyers, it's common for them to be nervous about the unknowns of owning a home. All of the questions they asked have now become reality. One key area revolves around the subject of financing and paying for the home and furnishings. Oftentimes it takes a few months to figure out the new mortgage, monthly fees, utility bills, but once the buyer has had a chance to figure it out, they find it a lot easier to plan for their future. And unlike renters, the mortgage amount is fixed, assuming you're in a long-term fixed rate, so generally there's not a ton of surprises there. But the question came up again from my client, now that I've figured things out, should I put extra money down on the mortgage to try to pay it off early? So here's a couple of pointers that might help you answer that question for your own dynamic situation. What's the interest rate on your mortgage versus using extra money to invest elsewhere? Where would you make the more money in the long term? Do you have a 6 to 9 month nest egg set aside for emergencies? If not, I'd recommend getting that in place before paying a mortgage down. If you pay the equivalent of one extra payment per year, you can cut an average of 7 years off the life of a 30-year mortgage. This may be the easiest thing to do without funneling a lot of money towards your mortgage at the expense of a better ROI on your money. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. So look at it from all angles and make a decision. Monitor the results of your decision and then adjust as necessary. At the close of business yesterday, the mortgage rate for a 30-year loan on a $750,000 home with 20% down is 7.06%. This is up slightly over the past 2 weeks. Couple thoughts here. The rate I referenced is with 20% down. You increase the amount of your down payment and that rate comes down. For example, 40+% down reduces the rate to 6.587 for a 30-year loan. Or keep the 20% down and change the term to a 15-year note, and the rate goes down even further to 6.382%. As they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I love cats. A lot of people look at the Federal Reserve and their meeting today and think that their decision directly affects the mortgage rate. It doesn't. Mortgage rates typically follow the 10-year Treasury bond, so figure out what that is and add 1.5 to 2% to get a sense of what mortgage rates are actually doing. Okay, that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you're thinking about making a move of any type, virtually anywhere in the USA, I'd love to have a chat with you. Coffee's on me.